Welcome to our 2021 commencement ceremony. Everybody please rise for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Wilton High School Student Body President Ben Kesselman.
Good afternoon, Wilton High School. Let's hear it for the class of 2021. I think this is a really bittersweet moment. For years, I was kind of ready to leave this town and never look back, but now that it's actually happening, now that I'm actually leaving, I realize how much I'm gonna miss this place. But anyways, on to my speech. I think people like sad songs because they remind us that we're not alone. The fact that there is someone out there who has had such a similar experience as you, that they wrote a song about it, is incredibly comforting. And this made me think, it made me realize that in all our lifetimes, we may never have an original experience. While the finer details of our lives are distinctly ours, there will always be others who have had the same emotions, ideas, and experiences as you. Though this may sound bleak, it is in fact a beautiful thing. It means that we're not alone, that there is a common thread that connects every single human being. The ability to find these common threads and build a shared reality together because of it is an amazing gift. And I think that the single greatest folly in human existence is that when we grow up, we stop sharing our realities. The Jungle Book tells the story of a child, Mowgli, who washes up in a basket in the jungles of India. Bagheera, the Black Panther, finds him and takes him to safety. The animals of the jungle all band together to raise Mowgli, except for Shere Khan, the evil tiger. When he returns to the jungle, he vows to kill Mowgli. Bagheera tells Baloo the bear that Mowgli would only be safe in the man village. Baloo hears the idea and cries out in desperation, "Man village, they'll ruin him. They'll make a man out of him." See, Baloo feared that the man village would corrupt Mowgli, that it would strip away his youthful innocence and replace it with dreams of power and success. It would threaten their shared reality such that, over time, Mowgli would stop exploring the jungle and begin destroying it in the name of civilization. But to Mowgli, all is well. There is an allure in the class and luxury of a civilized society. He finds beauty in shining gold, hunger for spices, and utility in man's tools. Man would clothe him, teach him to read and write, and show him how to make fire and how to hunt. Eventually, he would stop reinventing his reality and start refining himself. He would grow up and set real goals. He was done playing around in the jungle with the animals. Baloo saw something in Mowgli's future that Mowgli could not yet realize for himself. In the process of growing up, the man village would consume him. His goals of power and success would become his reality. He would work hard for them, he would sacrifice for them, and he would pursue them at the expense of his relationships. If he built civilization, he would have to destroy the jungle, the homes of the animals that raised him. If he used man's fire and wore man's clothes, he would scare them off. The man village would drive a wedge between his reality and the reality of those he loved. By the time Mowgli accomplished his goals, he would have no one to share the moment with. He would be alone. Chris McCandless, who died in the Alaskan wilderness trying to isolate himself from humanity, wrote in his final days, "Happiness is only real when shared." Baloo knew what we, like Chris McCandless and Mowgli, realize often too late, There is nothing more important than the people we choose to share our reality with, and that there is nothing if we choose not to share it at all. Think back to the times we spent in the playground as kids. We were, for the most part, strangers, but we were all friends. It was the place where new relationships were formed. Anyone could join in on a game of tag or kickball. We were upset when recess ended, and even more upset when it was our turn to kick and we had to go back inside. We hated going back to class because a part of us understood that there was something fundamentally wrong with the idea that we had to sit down and stop experiencing the world with our friends, with the idea that if we worked hard now, we could play hard later. But we have since changed our minds and decided that the man village is more important than the playground. I spent years in high school working hard to get into one of the best schools in the world. I thought that if I suffered for 4 years to earn it, I could then return to the playground and enjoy the world. But I was wrong. Eventually, I achieved my goal, and it felt incredible for a moment. But the moment quickly passed, and I had nothing. There was no playground to return to. Goals are amazing things, and they give us purpose, but we should never pursue them at the expense of our relationships. Happiness is only real when shared. So let's grow old but not grow up. Treat the world like a playground and find meaning in the now. Your choices in this moment determine your opportunities and experiences in the future. If you spend now consumed by your goals, you will have nothing and nobody to share the future with, the fruits of your labor with. So have fun. Don't take things so seriously. Find people who give your life purpose and meaning and put them at the forefront of everything you do. The world is a gift to you, and you are each a gift to the world. So make the most of it and never let the man village make men and women out of us. Thank you.
It is both my honor and privilege to announce the valedictorian of the Wilton High School class of 2021. This student has maintained a 4.0 grade point average while taking a rigorous course load, especially in the most challenging of circumstances, a pandemic. Our valedictorian is a well-rounded young lady who has been a tremendous asset to our school and community. Her school counselor describes her as a gregarious, positive young person who enthusiastically approaches all aspects of school. Her teachers describe her as a student who often adds insightful comments to classroom discussions and a diligent student that loves the process of learning. She is proud of her participation in the Poetry Out Loud readings and has performed in all of the musical productions during her time here at Wilton High School. She has been a member of many local productions and has also been on stage in Ontario, Canada at the Stratford Festival. During COVID, she continued her passion through performing in various Shakespeare forums online. It would come as no surprise that she is a member of our Madrigal Choir, our most prestigious singing group, where she thrives as a soloist. Since her junior year, she's also become a member of the Tri-M Music Honor Society. She's a talented artist and is known by her peers as a dependable presence and one who is capable of calmly offering practical solutions to unexpected events. I'm proud to share that she is also the president of our Women's Activist Club. She has also volunteered locally at performing studios since 6th grade. On top of that, she works in organic gardening during the summer. She is a woman of many talents that go beyond her academic prowess. This fall, she will be attending Baldwin Wallace University in Ohio and plans to pursue her Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting. It is my honor and privilege to present to you our valedictorian of the class of 2021, Lily Mikita.
Thank you, Dr. Korn, and welcome to my fellow classmates, friends and family, administrators, teachers and staff, and distinguished guests. My name is Lily Mikita, and this is the last thing I thought I would be doing at my graduation. but I am honored and humbled to be this year's valedictorian. I expected to struggle academically in high school. I have ADHD and was in the special education program for my first 2 years. I learn differently from many people. I'm terrible at standardized tests, and I often need clarification on assignments before completing them. These are some of my challenges, and I suspect that everyone has their own. This is one of the things that connects us all, and the ability of the Wilton High School community to help us with these challenges makes this a flourishing environment for education, which is why I have chosen to meditate on the meaning of community for the next few minutes. These last 15 months have been challenging, as we all know. The global pandemic has affected our lives in ways that were unimaginable. While we've all been challenged, there have also been insights. We've relearned the benefits of collaboration. Our time apart has reinforced the importance of gathering together, like we are on this beautiful afternoon. While we all have the common community of Wilton High School, we also have our smaller communities. Some find it in sports, others find it in clubs. I find mine in the performing arts. When I think of my communities, I think of the relationships I have with many of the people sitting in front of me. I am reminded of the joy I get from self-expression and reaching a common goal. All of these communities help us to grow, to become interesting and engaged individuals. This individuality and diversity of thought and experience is what makes our school and larger community thrive. I look to the teacher who encourages their student to speak freely in class, even if the opinion is controversial, so that we all may learn. I look to the group projects I've had over the years where we work together, using our unique strengths to complete the task at hand. Community teaches us that it is good to fail. We should fail loudly and gloriously, because those are the moments where we learn the most. We have all gotten here by standing on the shoulders of our wonderful and dedicated educators. And while there are so many people worthy of being mentioned by name, today I would like to highlight one person in particular, my guidance counselor, Mr. Dan Pompa. His fierce advocacy, his sense of humor, and the candy in his office have helped not just me, but the countless other students, both past and present. Mr. Pompa, we all miss you so much and can't wait till you come back. Our brilliance comes from our bravery to adapt to new situations and support one another in the pursuit of growth and progress. Our educators lend us their shoulders to stand on so we can make a brighter future, just as we will lend our shoulders to those who will come after us. So, as we gather here together one last time to acknowledge our common ties, we go forth into this new world, this new normal, to explore who we are and who we will become as people and as citizens, knowing that individually we can achieve excellence, but together we can do the impossible. Thank you.
As we engage in our graduation ceremony, we have two special moments of recognition. We are proud to announce that we have two graduates from the class of 2021 who will be serving our country in the United States military.
I call on all members of our school community in town of Wilton to celebrate and honor Wilton High School graduate Brandon Stella on his enlistment into the United States Army. Brandon has been a model citizen during his tenure at Wilton High School. Brandon expressed his desire to join the Army early in his high school career. He worked hard to learn what the entrance requirements would be in order to achieve his goal. Brandon enlisted while still in high school and devoted time to this endeavor throughout this past school year. He is ready and eager to make this commitment and is looking forward to using his skills to proudly serve his country. Please join me in another round of applause and recognition for Brandon.
I call on all members of the school community in the town of Wilton to celebrate and honor Wilton High School class of 2021 graduate Kira Howard on her appointment to the United States Coast Guard Academy. Kira has achieved much success at Wilton High School. She took a challenging academic schedule, maintained a 3.9 GPA, and was a three-sport athlete where she received honors in all three sports. Kira was also selected for National Honor Society and recognized by her peers for her sportsmanship and her leadership. Kira, you are a model citizen, and we know that you will make our community proud and serve our country at the highest level. Please join me in a round of applause and recognition for Kira.
Excited. How about you guys? Didn't want to kill the trees, so I wrote the speech on my phone. All right. So hey everyone, I hope you guys are as hyped as I am. All right. So I just wanted to say, you all made a great choice with this teacher. She brings an energy that lights up any room. She's incredibly smart, and she cares about all of us. She's an awesome teacher. Now in forensics this year, Mr. Hunter and his students caught her red-handed in a murder case. But we forgive her for killing Mr. Hoyt because she's just so likable. Her epic presence is not limited to the classroom. This queen is a fiery, determined, and loving advisor, a great friend, and someone I am so happy to have in my life. She changes lives every day with her wisdom and her warmth. She works tirelessly to make our school the best and most loving place that it can be. And I alone cannot thank her enough for that. But I think that we can. She is an English teacher. She leads the exec board. And she is your favorite 5-foot fighting machine. Give it up for Dr. Harvey.
Okay, well, just for the record, it's 5-2. Just saying. Thank you, Thomas. That was just an amazing, amazing introduction, and I cannot believe we're standing here. I just am so filled with love for this class. You guys are just incredible. So, thank you for this moment to share this last adventure with you. When I was asked to speak to you, I searched for the right metaphor to frame this class, the right message, the last lesson to teach this class. I eventually realized why I was struggling. I actually realized it this morning when I was talking to Mrs. Bray. It would be condescending of me to give you platitudes. Embrace the uncertainty, be courageous, etc., etc. What I realized is that this class is really unique. All the lessons I want to teach you, you have already lived. There is no metaphor for the truly original or unique. We don't have the adjectives or metaphors yet for this year. You are creating them. So this is essentially a love letter to this class. As you know, no other graduating class has experienced quite the challenges that you have. No class has had to grapple with and come to terms with the reality of uncertainty like you have. No class has truly learned to appreciate the ordinary moments like you have. Parents, families, guests, let me provide you with a window into what this class is made of. Let's go back for a brief moment to March of 2020. We were moving with the usual hyper speed of a high school. Days marked with ringing bells, slamming locker doors, hallway laughter, bellowing announcements, sweet scent from culinary on Cookie Fridays, the roar of school bus engines, raucous class discussions, feet pounding up and down the stairs, doors rebounding off the walls, shouts, singings, instruments tuning in the orchestra room, preschoolers clapping in the playground, the voices of hall monitors, custodians, teachers, administrators, guidance counselors, support staff, students, parents, visitors, laughter in the senior and junior lots, cheers from athletic fields, applause from the theaters, voices calling, hurry up, don't be late, don't miss your bus, run, don't be tardy, hurry onto the field, into the classroom, onto the stage. I wish I had time to have dinner with my family. I wish I had time to hang out with my friends. I'm going to be up all night doing my homework. I just want a break. Well, and then we had March 11th. When the announcement came that the high school would be shut down, I thought I could hear a collective cheer from the students all the way to my house in Westport. I mean, honestly, right? We didn't know then that a 2-week lockdown would continue to the end of the school year, through the summer, and into this school year. Suddenly, it was as if we were free floating in space on the dark side of the moon, cut off from everything familiar. The topography and landscape of our lives changed in an instant. The time landmarks that we took for granted that had provided structure to our days, alarm clocks, school bells, disappeared. Our lives were suddenly blanketed with a muting silence. We were separated, distant, so much silence and uncertainty. And this is not a quiet class. I'm just going to tell the people who are here. What we didn't realize at the time was that we were given a reset button. We were given a chance to reassess what is truly important, who is truly important, to discover the miracle of the ordinary. There was so much we did not know about the virus, about our futures, but in the stillness, in slowing down the busyness of our lives, we learned how to care for each other. We learned that love is stronger than anything else that life throws at us, that love can help us through. And water, a little bit of water. For the first time, all of us, everyone here, no matter the age, were aware that we were experiencing something together. We were experiencing the uncertainty together, and we had to lean on each other from a distance and learn a new way of staying connected, of how to stay still when all you wanted to do was to run into your future like you were supposed to. And through it all, you taught us patience, courage, love. I mean it. I want to look at every single one of you. You were amazing this year. Patience? Okay, well, you practiced a lot of patience this year, especially when we ventured back into the classroom. Think back to September. At first, the classrooms were silent, except for the notifications of students in the waiting room of the Zoom class. We had to deal with dropped Wi-Fi, frozen screens, that awkward interrupting of voices after uncomfortable pauses, the glitches of Schoology, but we figured it out. You were endlessly patient with me. These were some of the expressions that I heard, very kindly. Dr. Harvey, you're muted. Dr. Harvey, we can't see you. Dr. Harvey, did you know you can use your mouse to move the screen? Right? And this is the one that was my favorite. You always said, Dr. Harvey, let me help you. Dear God, I needed your help. We longed for these ordinary, recognizable moments. You wore your masks, you tolerated the sneeze guards, definitely tolerated them, but you longed to sit in the jungle, to hang out with your friends. You had to do one of the hardest acts imaginable for a teenager, to sit still so that others could be safe, to be patient. Courage. You also taught us what it means to be courageous. In your indefatigable courage to face unimaginable loss, unprecedented challenges, unfathomable uncertainty, you learned at a young age that each moment is precious. It took courage to love in all of the darkness we just went through. Mary Oliver, one of my favorite poets, says it better than I ever could. In her poem, One Wild and Precious Life, she writes, I don't know what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? You, class of 2021, you learned the true meaning of having one wild and precious life. When I was afraid, I looked at you, and I took the strength from your courage. Life threw every obstacle at you, and yet the more barriers in place, the harder you worked to connect. You stood up when most people would have given up. You reached out, you loved even harder, you taught us what it means to be brave. And last, but definitely not least, love. You taught us about love. You are what love looks like. This class, everybody here, has heart, and they wear it on their sleeves. This great world kept spinning, moving us incrementally forward towards a realization that no matter the challenges we face, love is what transcends distance, space, time. It's what carries the memories of our loved ones into this present moment. It's what helps us reach across a separation of 6 feet so that we can hold fast to one another. I'm not going to cry. I'm just going to have a little sip of water for a second. Okay? A little regrouping here. Love is the foundation of this class and the lesson of this class. Despite the loss, despite the silence, despite the worry and uncertainty, you refuse to be undone. So before I finish, I'm almost finished, I promise. Class of 2021, I want you to take a moment and look around. Look at your teachers who care so much that they lost sleep worrying about how to make it right for you, how to make it better for you, how to make it good for you, how to be strong for you. Look at the administrators who had to make excruciatingly painful decisions in a world with no playbook, and who reassured us when I know they too were awake at 3 in the morning, worrying about you, worrying about all of us. Look at our custodians, who I know are over there, who kept our school running, clean, safe, putting their own lives in the same fate as ours. Look at your parents, your guardians, your family members. They had never experienced this either. They were afraid and worried, but they did everything in their power to get you here today. And most importantly, look at each other. You will see the greatest lesson of all. Love wins. Let's hear, okay, this is the last thing I'm ever going to ask you to do. Ready? So let's hear in your voices the amount of gratitude and love you have for all of those and all of you who have been on this journey together. When I count to 3, okay, you paying attention? Okay, good. When I count to 3, I want you to say, "We love you," at the top of your lungs with all of your feelings that you have pent up since March of 2020. You ready? What? I'm sorry? Okay. 1, 2, 3. That is what love looks like and sounds like, right? They deserve that. This most awesome class. So, what have you taught us? How to forgive ourselves, to be patient through a time in which history was unrolling under our feet when everything was so new we did not have perspective yet. You taught us how to treasure the ordinary, what is here, right now, this moment. You taught us that the one certainty in this world is the courage in your hearts to love steadily and with compassion. So, it is time to unmute your voices and step into the certainty that no matter what life throws in your path, you will persevere with patience, courage, and love. This world is a better place with all of you in it. Go out and shine. Let your voices ring. Life is good. Go live it. Class of 2021, it has been a privilege to share this precious life with you. Congratulations. I love you so much.
It is an honor to greet and welcome graduates, students, parents, community members, Dr. Smith, and members of the Board of Education. We also want to welcome all family members, some of whom will be viewing this ceremony virtually across the nation. I extend a special shout out to Jake Arnowitz and our WETV team for filming and broadcasting this ceremony for the world to see. Graduates, there is nothing that compares to a Wilton High School graduation ceremony on Tom Fujitani Field in Veterans Memorial Stadium on a beautiful June day, and this is your day. It is good to see you all together here at the celebratory moment in your Wilton High School career and this pivotal point in your lives. You have strived to this point and deserve to cherish this time with your classmates. Not surprisingly, graduates, you are finishing this year in stellar fashion with a deep sense of class unity. Look around briefly and capture this moment that you will remember forever. Look to your left and look to your right and just remember your friends and classmates. That's right, smile right at them. Remember this forever. You guys are beautiful. Graduates, what I'd like to do here today is take you down a recent walk down memory lane with some of your accomplishments. Firstly, you were able to reunite during the last few days of the school year as a class, get rid of the cohorts, and experience your teachers, yourselves, your classmates, and of course, the jungle. For those who are not aware, the seniors affectionately call the senior lounge the jungle. During your senior picnic, you gathered together to socialize and sign yearbooks, a true rite of teenage passage. As should be the case, conversations revolved around seeing your friends, getting ready for prom, gowns, how to wear a tuxedo, and decorating your cars in true class of 2021 spirit, which you did very well, by the way. You look great. Under the leadership of your class officers, you organize a successful prom in a magical setting that is representative of this awesome class. You really looked like the group of young adults that we have crafted you to be. By the way, you're actually pretty good dancers. Remarkably talented in the fine and performing arts, you staged the first open-air musical in school history when your production of Working captivated audiences and met with wide acclaim. Our music students, unable to perform live for a Wilton High School audience for over a year, crushed it with the Pops concert. Let's give a round of applause to our musicians, our student musicians, who are all playing here. Best fine and performing arts department in the nation. We all know that. Finally, you are here today on your home field without masks for this beautiful commencement ceremony. I wish you from the bottom of my heart and with my deepest love, I wish you great joy and togetherness tonight at PGP, and I thank our wonderful Wilton High School families for organizing this PGP for our students under some adverse circumstances. Thank you to all of our parents. At the prom on Thursday evening, I had the chance to talk with many of you and glean your perspective on what these end-of-year experiences have meant to you. You expressed that you were surprised to be able to engage in these end-of-year rites of teenage passage and how genuinely thankful you were. You spoke about the seeming return to relative normalcy. You noted that as a class, you handled it all well under the circumstances. 3 graduates talked about the resilience of this graduating class of 2021. I could not agree with you more, and I largely credit you and your mature and compliant behavior in school with keeping us going in person. Well done. You spoke about the renaissance of athletics and how much it meant to your physical and mental well-being to be back on the fields and in the pool and on the fields again. Finally, you expressed that the year is now a great success because it is much better to finish strong than to end abruptly. Some graduates noted that even when separated and isolated, they were still together as a class. This will always be the case as you are forever linked by the unique and special bond of this graduating class of 2021. Graduates, I speak on behalf of all of our staff and parents and family members that we are just thrilled that this year turned around for you and that you were able to enjoy these memorable experiences for the remainder of your lives. I want to state that the ultimate success of this school year also lies with our faculty and staff. Graduates, to your left and right sit some of the most talented faculty members in this country. They share in your pride in this accomplishment. Their level of commitment to your education has been unparalleled over the past 4 years. It has been a very, very difficult and challenging year for your teachers. But here they sit right now by your side, physically and figuratively. Recently, during the student presentation to the Board of Education, the first thing that the students cited about what went well this year was the flexible support that our staff provided during this school year. Please join me again for a warm round of ovation for our Wilton High School staff and faculty who are here on the field and up in the stands. These educators are absolute heroes. At this point, I commend you for emerging from this time stronger than ever, graduates. You have succeeded in maintaining an academic focus and meeting important learning goals. It is clear that you could not have done so with the support of your families. And I know that you felt the love for them all year long that Dr. Harvey spoke about earlier. So I congratulate our parents because I know that you are immensely proud of these graduates, and rightfully so. In closing, as you prepare to graduate, I want you to know that I, our faculty, Dr. Smith, our Board of Education, all express our deep warrior pride for your accomplishments during your Wilton High School years and of the contributions that you have made to our school and to our town. You are an exceptional class that is truly leaving a very positive legacy at our school, just like the name of your yearbook, Legacy. Dr. Smith, I present to you the Wilton High School graduating class of 2021.
I've been emotional all day. Good afternoon, class of 2021. Parents, family members, esteemed colleagues, and honored guests. It is magnificent to see you in person. Let's have a quick round of applause for Dr. O'Donnell and our graduation committee that made this happen in person today. I have the distinct pleasure of presenting the Wilton High School class of 2021 to our Board of Education, and it is my honor to do so. Let me tell you about the class of 2021. This is a class, you are a class that has demonstrated remarkable fortitude this year. Can we agree that to say this year was onerous would be an understatement? Class of 2021, you have experienced unthinkable tragedy and sorrow this year. Despite that, you showed up. When you could have given up, you showed up, and we noticed. I was once told that there are 3 types of people in the world: people who make things happen, people who watch things happen, and people who say, "What happened?" Class of 2021, of those 3 types, you are the former. You made it happen this year. You showed up, you persevered, you demonstrated extraordinary adaptability and resilience. You made things happen, and you did so with awe-inspiring spirit. To show up in this year took astounding courage. I'm going to pick up now where Dr. Harvey left off. Thinking about you and what you've accomplished this year reminded me of a speech given by President Teddy Roosevelt. If he were giving that speech today, I have to believe he would be talking about you. He professed, "It is not the critic who counts, not the one who pointed out how the strong stumble or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the one who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends herself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end of the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his or her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory or defeat. So you, class of 2021, who have dared greatly this year, I invite you to consider what lessons you can carry forward as you move on from Wilton High School. Know that you possess uncommon courage. Just take a moment and think about the tremendous strength of character that resides within you. Aristotle described courage as the first virtue and one that requires both practice and personal sacrifice. You've learned something about personal sacrifice this year. So then how else can you practice courage? First, let's understand what it is. Courage is not simply bravery. Rather, it's, as Brené Brown reminds us, the Latin root of courage is cor, or heart. So to practice courage is to live with heart, your whole heart. Brown invites us all to live wholeheartedly, which she defines as cultivating the courage, compassion, and connection to start each day with the understanding that who you are is enough, that you already possess everything you need to live a full life. The task then is to grow those attributes, your gifts and talents, and then to share them in service to making this world a better place. Why? Because we need you to. This world needs you to. Thinking back to Roosevelt's speech at the Sorbonne, I just referenced a moment ago, notably later in that same speech, he had admonished his listeners and told the crowd that to them much had been given, and in turn much should be expected. So in that same spirit to you, class of 2021, much has also been given, and therefore we expect you to dare greatly, live fully, and do amazing things. I'm going to close with a few of Amanda Gorman's words and her call to action from her poem, The Hill We Climb, because her words are so apropos to this moment. She said, "We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover every known nook of our nation and every corner called our country Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge, battered and beautiful, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. Class of 2021, be brave, be courageous, be the light, live with your whole heart. So with that, let's proceed now to my favorite part of the ceremony, where I officially graduate you. Here we go, right? So it is with great pride that I now pronounce, by the authority vested in me by the state of Connecticut and by the Wilton Board of Education as the superintendent of schools, I do hereby certify to all in attendance on this 12th day of June in the year 2021, the members of the Wilton High School class of 2021 here before me have successfully completed the requirements for graduation established by the state of Connecticut and the Wilton Board of Education and are eligible to be graduated from Wilton High School. I do now declare them graduated. Madam Chairman, I present to you the class of 2021.
Joy, excitement, celebration, accomplishment, and pride are the themes of this ceremony. There is great joy in gathering all together in this moment. We realize, in ways not understood before the pandemic, how special the simple act of sitting together on a field can be. There is excitement in looking forward to your future adventures and challenges. You will explore and chart new territory unique to your passions and personality. There is celebration of the connections and relationships built through your years in the Wilton schools, the bonds of friendship, the sense of community and collaboration as a class, and recognition and appreciation of your amazing, dedicated teachers. There is a rightful sense of accomplishment in reflecting on the work, effort, and perseverance it took to reach today. We hope you feel pride in your triumphs, engaging in the classroom, sharing talents in art, music, and drama performances, competing on the athletic field, helping others through volunteering, and pursuing individual interests. And we hope you also feel pride in the times you overcame frustrations and even disappointments that came your way. You truly have earned your diplomas, so savor this wonderful day. On behalf of the Board of Education, the Wilton Public School staff, your proud families and friends, and the entire town of Wilton, congratulations, class of 2021. So now, let's present those diplomas. There we go. I can be first and you can be second.
Come on.
Should I moonwalk up?
Benjamin Jacob Kesselman. Thomas Petrillo. Victoria Irene Duraco. Neil Satsangi. Please don't forget your cards. Jason Bavona. Trevor William Lynn. William McCaw Hughes the Fourth. Connor James Roman. Sam G. Rosen. Jack D. Rosen.
Wooder Toby. Nicholas Fahey. Tate D. Falta. Matthias Onerud. Alexander Richard Kokoros. Benjamin Weiner. Joshua Thomas White. Trevor Joseph Martinez. Peter Groves. Sean Sullivan. Michael Coffey. Luke J. O'Neill.
This is Thomas's card. He was after Ben. Wherever you want to put him. They're gonna go. Sir, we fixed it.
I'll do this side, you do that side. Okay, so I did Carrie and then you do the second round. I think that's a better way than 10 and 10. Tommy J. Harris III. Kyle N. Jordan. Caitlin Michelle Pierkowski. Nathan M. Bennett. Omar Orabi. Kyle Alex. Emily Victoria D'Onofrio. Layla Sarah Hashemi. Caroline Olivia Grusecki. Maureen Rose Campbell. Anna Elizabeth Santa Croce. Carrie O'Neill.
Victoria Lucia Fox. Sarah Crocito. Amanda C. Scalar. Megan Callie Posey. Emma Catherine Cobb Hayes. Ladybird Sophie Turner Slater. Grace Ann Cahill. Nina Ann Sylvester. Caroline Emma Luciano. Elizabeth Hollingberry Corper. Shelby Jane DeJana. Caroline Paige Judelson.
Jamie Josephine Bonbartheld.
Hayden Simoniego Roy. Casey Shu. Anika Bhagavatula. Alexandra L. Magnuson. Christina Hope Torkelson. Ane Wenzel. Olivia Ada Tepalian. Grace Kathleen Stepkowski. Ryan James Whitty. Michael Sheridan Biondo. Ian Cornell Kinnian. Connor Bendette. Sydney Ann Feldman. Samantha Madison Castano. Emily Megan Castano. Kayla G. Fernandez. Mia A. Kasher. Lily Sarah Gibbons. Lily Chapel Mikita. Catherine Elaine Corrigan. Elizabeth Jenny Ann Johnson. Alexander C. Jalilian. Nathaniel Spencer Newcomer. Annika Elizabeth Engel. Clara Jane Edgecombe. Emma Catherine Caldwell. Kayla Rose Scally. Caitlin Elizabeth Grief. Rosemary Martin. Kira Sky Howard. Anastasia Pshik. Abigail Elizabeth Seaman. Kathleen J. Condos. Zoe Jeanne Arakel. Samantha Renee McDonald. Philip Schuyler Keno. Rebecca Murphy. Anastasia Rose Rogozinski. Ashley Roberta Klansko. Chloe Reese Funtlater. Jacob A. Arnowitz. Cameron J. Case. Kylie Bell. Margaret Townsend Kanglei Likely. Rahul Vallabhajoshua.
Ryan McCarran Lynn. Nicole Christine Zolino. Stephanie Claire Baptista. Haley Marie Doobie. Erica Noel Grafe. Eli Grass. Alexander Michael McDonald. Catalina King. Peyton Gildersleeve. Lexi Hine. Owen J. Pettit.
Brian Christopher Sipri. Jordan Smith. Ellen Violet Chapetta. Sarah Collius. Rachel Elizabeth Calabrese. Lily C. Burns. Jacqueline Lily Umfred. Margaret Ann Rowe. Madeline Pfeiffer. Piper McCaffrey Chase. Janet Madeline Johnson. Erin Elizabeth McMorris. Kathleen Ann McMorris. Charlotte Grace Stevenson.
Charles Herbert Hastings. Ryan Joseph Sorbo. Maximus Menino. Rachel Suzanne Slater. Catherine Grace Seneth. Madison Patricia Baez. Olivia Whitney Crisafulli. Ashley Carol Carbonare. Sarah Gassel.
Megan Lynn Kozolkowski. Christina Rosemary O'Sullivan. Maya Elizabeth Snyder. Hannah Rose LaFury. Adeline Jane Teolis. Dylan Andrew Robichaud. J. Oliver Sharp. Armon S. Peters. Gianna Zacconi.
Brooke Anna Genovese. Madeline Claire Wecker. Caroline Beatrice Safko. Brooke Latone. Elizabeth Hope Williams. Ryan Ashley Wathier. Isabel Sophia Pravia. Samantha C. Nichols. Aliana Margarita Rivas. Arav Soy. Zachary Abood. Kevin Hu. Adam J. Brophy.
Cole N. Iannuzzi. Evan Coe. Isidore Sabile Palakpak. Nathan Wang. Haley Sarah Smith. Zara S. Reza. Claire Rose Kidzerski. Sophia M. Savage. Chase Alexander Ator. Troy Justin Bucciero.
Davis Huntington Cody. Simon Alexander. Tyler Michael Kennedy. Zachary Cooper Rappaport. Rocco Gilly. Max Jacob Greenberg. Rory O'Donnell Hess. Michelle Simone Prario. Eleanor Ann Green. Pauline Claire Krieger. Elizabeth Joanne Conley. Jennison Cole. Ryan McDougall.
Robert Jackson Kelly IV. Alexander J. Laflamme. Oliver Dolan. Robert Stephen Rios. Thomas C. Dexter III. Jack Enlin Myers. Quinn Patrick O'Connor. Luca Wenzel. Mitchell Alden Bakken. Sebastian Hunt. Spencer Dean. Antonio Ray Tobias Guzman.
Simona Nicole Giorgi. Chloe Alexis Salomon. Hannah K. Mills. Olivia Catherine Beecraft. Allison Manfro. Caitlin Marie Murnane. Cooper Rogue. Anthony Joseph Pasaniti III. Esteban Melendez. Pierce Bazowitz.
Riley Eaton. Carly Rose Morris. Rowan Marcus Cremiri. Nolan William Graham. James Patrick Vollmer. William Charles Rath. Daniel Joseph Gersecki. Brian Edward Curley. Michael Brian Gersecki. Matthew Richard Cunningham. Alessia Marie Cawley. Noah Rosenberg. Tamar Rosenberg. Claire S. Rizzo.
Jeremy Lucas. Matthew Alexander Colazar. Connor Stephen Allen. Bryson Stewart Addison. William Paul Shane. Blake Pagano Wally. Christopher J. Jones. Ryan Jeffrey Siegel. Joseph K. Egan. Miranda Hancock. Mairead Fitzgerald Keogh. Alexis Tatiana Castaldi. Sarah Alam. Alexa Catherine Michael.
Jordan Renee Foster. Julia Sevierchinska. Owen James Frederick Steckel. Akshit Yadala. Daniel Sadegi. Anthony Rushevich. Brandon Alexander Stella. Michael P. Sullivan.
Maxwell Milton Jones. Yassine Shukri. John McMahon IV. James P. McKiernan. Michael A. Kepner. Quinn W. Wiseman. Owen Kevin Lillis. Jacob Thomas Lash. Edward M. Rowley IV. Rohan Sai Badraju.
Luke Jazer. Cameron Johnson Caganello. Andrew J. Bluestein. Charles A. Gilchrist. Ryan Link. Jackson Achilles Boconfuso. Mickey Wilcox. Stephanie Brant Jones. Connor Joffrey Cooper. Michael John Bassanese. Austin Shia. Kevin Latt.
Max F. Rothkopf. Christian Philip Theoharides. Jack Thomas Carroll. Christopher James Drummond. Samuel Nonaret. Rachel Gabrielle Tobias. Georgia Louise Rentz Mills. Rachel Grace Zarnecki. Isabel Zoe Bratton. Jack William Hall. Alexander Grant Cameron. Jishan Huck.
Kyle Christopher Polito. Matthew Jeffrey Golbin. Samuel Straza. Shane Michael McCahey. Joshua Grass. Andrew Allen Rubsum. Aiden Carol Jasinski. Ryan Thomas Van Heist. William Thomas Jarvie. Mason John Krablowski. Brendan Charles Sullivan. William Joseph Poirier.
Isabel Caroline Sabo. Lauren Rose Travers. Isabel M. Cronin. Melissa Arenas. Caroline I. Asif. Zoe Lucia Blaine. Lauren Parida. Stefania Morani. Gabriel Thomas Colazar.
Ganesh Jathin Reddy Makareddy. Austin Robert Tupper. Michael David Lamond. Logan Motika. Aiden James Duff. Mark Anthony Francisco Bazzuti Jones II. Samuel Ricketts. Matthew Richard Farrago. Everett Griffin Lee. Nicholas Alexander Chavez. Lumo Soon Chan Sato.
Spencer Luis Reyes. Keegan Dietrich Lindiauer. Sky Resnick. Mateo Joseph Morello. Haley Anderson Farrell. Ryan James McElroy. Michael Pien. Joseph Frederick Rosenthal. Sophia Ramirez. Alexander Schur. Christopher Addison Sandys.
Mary Elizabeth Emerson. Helen Ava Caracetti. Sophia Hepnig Flame. Suhani Suneja. Vasundra Bagchi. Gabia Zaruba. Haley Elizabeth Karras. Amelia Claire DeSimone.
Justin Kolos. Megan Wolpuck. Timothy Charles Grace. Neil V. Iyer. Eli Michael Gibney. Thomas Walsh. Lou A. Long. Connor Healy. Sarah Marie Bates.
Brielle Margot Flavin.
Okay, hello, class of 2021 and guests. My name is Tori Duraco, and I am honored to be presenting this year's class gift. This year, there will be two parts to our gift. First and foremost, we would like to make a donation to the custodial staff for their tireless efforts and hours they have dedicated to each and every one of us. After many suggestions to provide more outdoor seating, we are very happy to deliver. The second part of our class gift will be donating benches to the school that will be placed in the senior parking lot. This will be another place for students to have lunch and enjoy some fresh air. A huge thank you to everyone who has helped us raise funds over the past 4 years to make this possible. After 13 short years of venturing through Wilton Public Schools with you all, I am sad to part, but I am so excited to see all of the amazing ways we change the world. This class is, without a doubt, the most compassionate, outgoing, adaptable, and kind classes. These are all things we should never lose sight of, as they will take us far in life. I would like to leave you all with these parting words. Life is too short to worry about a failed test, complain about a sunburn, or get caught up in yesterday's worries. I urge you all to look and feel deeper. Make your dreams a reality, chase every opportunity, and enjoy every beautiful moment of your journey. And most of all, a huge congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here to celebrate the amazing class of 2021. Before I continue further, I want to remind all of us that this would not have been possible without the hard work of our faculty and administration. So please join me in one final round of applause for all their efforts. Today marks the beginning of a new journey for the class of 2021. And what a class it is, let me tell you. Over the past 4 years and beyond, I've met some of the brightest, kindest souls that anyone could have the privilege of knowing. I'm extremely humbled to be a part of this graduating class. I also want to give a big shout out to all the parents that are in the stands today. Without you, we would not be the graduates that you see before you today. You guys are the reason that we are here. Beyond just parents, I see many grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. I'm sure you all were very excited when Dr. O'Donnell announced that there would not be a restriction on the number of seating at graduation. Of course, my mom took that to mean that the entire country of India was invited. If I was to summarize my high school journey in one word, it would be unpredictable. But honestly, that's a good thing. Each year was very different than the previous one. And as we head into the next chapter of our lives, I advise all of you to embrace the unpredictability in your own journeys. Head into the unknown and don't be afraid to take chances. Barney Stinson once said, "It's not legendary." Sorry. Whatever you do in this life is not legendary unless your friends are there to see it. So I'd like to leave you all with one parting thought. Put down your phones and focus on what's happening around you. Don't look back and allow 1 or 2 bad grades to define your high school experience. Instead, focus on the relationships you built and the friendships you made. Focus on the memories you had and the experiences that took you all throughout the 4 years of high school. Even though each and every person in this class may not be your best friend, I am confident that the relationships we made over the past 4 years will carry us into the next chapter in our lives and beyond. With that being said, I sincerely wish each and every one of you the very best. Congratulations, class of 2021. Now, if you will all please join me in the turning of the tassel to officially symbolize your graduation from Wilton High School. You may now change the tassel from right to left. Thank you, everyone.